Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we have another cup by bunnycat. This is featuring Kasane Teto, so I'm like, okay, Teto, hell yeah. Nothing could be better. Teto's fucking awesome. I love Teto. So Gene and my executive producers threw this at me. No other details, no context, nothing to go forward, but it's Kasane Teto. We all know Teto. We all know Teto's word of the goddamn day. We all know that Teto loves her bread. That's all you need to know. That's all the context I need. And without further ado, let's go. Ooh. Oh man, that really woke up. Like immediately. That is the lowest Teto voice I think I've ever heard. Alto Teto. I don't think I've ever heard her tune this low.
Tell us. You won't make it fast to get a clue less. This is all you really are. All you need. I'm not a girl, I'm not a cup, I'm not a single without a cigar. It makes me go secure, better make this way. I'm not a girl, I'm not a cup, I'm not a sick, I'm without a break.
You know,
my bones think this life was all mistake.
This hook is fire.
The smell of nauseating coffee. Another day with this routine. The sensation.
One hell of a story too.
Tell us. You won't make it fast to get and cool less. This is all you really are. I know the coffee.
Is this coming from like a very real place from bunnycat? I feel like this is a very lived experience. It's a little too on the nose. Ooh, okay. This is a pretty short song. Doing an outro like this is kind of bold. You know what? This might be bold, but I feel like low-toned Teto sounds kind of like Kagami and Len. Well, just a little bit. You know, like when he's low? Sounds, it's in the ballpark, right? All right, so this is kind of funny to me for a specific reason, and that is, I think this is the second song today that I've done a video on, recording-wise at least, that the song was in F minor and also uses a majored fifth, which I'll get into what that is, but it's just weird that it happened twice. What is up with today? As far as like most of you are watching this in the public release, I recorded those other videos like a month ago, so like that's irrelevant in the grand scheme of things, but just in this like bulk recording I'm doing right now, 3 videos in a row, 2 of them have been in F minor with a majored fifth. Why? It's just, I mean, I guess it is just a really good pattern in general, but it's weird, again, that it happened twice. What's up with that? So with this song, I love what it's doing because of this pattern, the way that it just sets itself up for this tension, and that's exactly what the majored fifth is here. Because within the key of F minor, we have F minor, we go down into a D flat, that's normal, but then instead of going to the C minor, which technically would be within that key, we go for a C major. So all together we have this. And if I were to play this as written in the proper key, it would be... And And you can hear how that's just a little bit different, but it also does not add the tension. That's exactly why that 5th majored is in there, because we have to have that tension in order to make the song have tension. If you don't have any tension in your chords in the song, there's none there for the rest of the song to be able to build off of. And there is other chords that happen in here too, like at the end of these phrases, we do actually go down to a B flat, and at one point even an A flat. It just kind of brings itself down that way. These are just kind of like one note stings before going back up to the main flow of the song, the main hook and everything, but that's just those sorts of passages you have. So we have, but then we also use an E flat in here as well, again within the key of F minor. The only thing that's out of place here technically is that C, and it's usually the fifth chord, the 5th note that gets majored or minored, really depending on what you need. That's just one of those things that works with music theories. If you major or minor a 5th, it tends to add that tension perfectly where you need it in the song. It allows for a little bit more flex because you have that tension included, but it also opens up avenues to be able to change up what chords you're playing. Like instead of utilizing the B flat, you would now open the door for the potential of utilizing just a B, which in this song doesn't really feel like it works, but again, within context of what you're writing, that could be an avenue to move yourself into another key, maybe a key change, some sort of a connective tissue of music theory that helps things evolve and move on. So there's another part to this song that is really fun to me, and that is that we get kind of a key change at the end. I'm not sure entirely what key it's in. It might be G minor, given that's kind of where we start there, but we have like G minor, E flat, and D. So it's basically the same thing as we had here, but now it just brings it up, it adds more of that excitement, more of the energy to it. That's usually what key changes do. They brighten things or darken things depending on what you need for the emotion you're going for. And for this being a song that's building up that energy, constantly cranking out more of that and adding to the tension more and more as you go, eventually just having that flatted 5th is not going to be enough tension if you continue to build upon that. So bringing that up to something like the next set of notes following the exact same pattern in its own key just does that naturally. It's bringing you up, it's adding to that energy. And there might also be something to be said about how this song is so centric around caffeine and the coffee iconography that the song itself gets more energy as it goes. Like even when the song has those moments where like the other characters are just kind of like talking down, and that's kind of a lull in the song, so to speak, the energy never really goes away. That tension's still there. There's still all of these connective tissues that are going to be showing up somewhere, and that's why the key change happens. It has to lead into something similar to how when you flat a 5th or major a 5th, you have something that needs that connective tissue to go somewhere. That tension is what usually drives the song either back to the beginning of the chord structure you already built, or it brings you to another part of the song, because in order to do that, you have to have the song go somewhere to resolve it. That's the point of those. In order to resolve firmly in a direction, whether that's up or down, flatting or sharping, I keep saying majoring, minoring, all these like varying terms, they all mean the same thing, but just doing that is what you have to do, and in order to make that feel good, you have to resolve somewhere. But out of the music nerd shit, just general opinions on the song, and lyrically, I think this song is a little bit too close to home for this artist. I feel like bunnycat must have been overworked to the absolute ends of their rope at some point. Like this song has so much truth in it. I have personally only ever hit this overwork sensation one time in my life. It was just a single summer and I was working 2 different jobs, so I never really had like this sort of malice come out specifically at one group, especially because the other boss I had was my own father, so like he kind of got it, I got lucky in that respect. But there was another one that got close when I first moved to this city. My first job here sucked, and they like made us work late into the night. It was at an event center, and I could not literally go home until we were done cleaning it up. And we're talking an entire stadium center with 4 guys that are supposed to clean the whole thing. It sucked. But one time we were there literally from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. It was like light out by the time I got home to sleep. I fell asleep with an empty bowl of cereal next to me, and somebody came out and saw me like that, and they were like, So like I've been there, but never to this point of like my bosses sucking to the ends of all potential and just, oh God, you know, I've had bad bosses, we all have, but this is a different level. This is somebody who has been stuck in the corporate grind hell for months to years and is unable to escape and is so fucking tired of it. And I feel like bunnycat must have just personally experienced something that specific, because there's too many like personal anecdotes within the lyrics here, and the relationship of like this character and these like dark figures that are always looming over this one person who's forced to do all this go for work bullshit. And it's just, you know, so that has to be a personal experience. Musically, like I talked about earlier with all the music theory stuff, this song is fun. It has a lot of tension to it, adds to that story and everything, keeps everything really nice and a neat little bow. It's perfectly wrapped for the chaos that it is, and it keeps building that energy and constantly brings that back and keeps adding to it more and more and more. So again, this has to come from like a really real place for bunnycat, and I fucking love it. And of course the vocals, Teto's vocals, I really don't hear her down in this like low alto range much. I've heard it a few times, it's just not super common, but I love how resonant her voice is down there. I feel like so many people are used to using her in the upper register, and that sounds good too, don't get me wrong, but I just love hearing that like lower tone from her just because it's so uncommon in general. But then utilizing the other characters with their own voices in here to act as literally the other people. I know that Vocaloid does that all the time. Pretty much any vocal synth does that when they have multiple characters, they use multiple voices. But I love how dark they made them sound with the tuning they had, the layering on Miku's voice, especially having that like extra dark resonance, which I know a lot of people tend to tune in when they have a darker song for Miku to sing. They'll do that sort of doubling with the notes to really add that crunch, which is always a cool feature. So just to add that into this song, to add that extra little twinge of like personal effect and malice to her voice is just absolutely on point. And just like I said, really fun, very well constructed. I love the production value on this one as a whole. All the processing was great. The vocals were fantastic, of course, but just the instrumental, as far as all of these samples and synths choices that were made here, brilliant work. I haven't heard anything from bunnycat, I don't think, maybe one or two in passing over the years. It's not like I'm completely new to Vocaloid by any means. I just don't recognize their names a lot of the time until I've gotten them requested a lot or I've listened to them a lot in my own time. So that'll probably come in time, given how good this one is. I might see another bunnycat at some point in my queue, but either way, I'll be done yapping for this one. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you want to guarantee something, much like Gene did for this one, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, where you can force me to listen to something. Doesn't matter who it's by, what it's from, it can be good or bad, none of that matters, that's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!